but I thought they showed out against Louisville.
Yeah.
And Phillips looked really good, and so did Roche. I mean, just the pass rushing group as a whole looked really good. Like I said, I thought our pass defense played pretty well. I thought our corners played well, which was good to hear and good to see because that's been an issue. We didn't really hear Ivy's name called, and I think that's probably a good thing because, in the past, that's generally been a bad thing. So I thought our defense looked good outside. I don't know. The run defense was a problem. I really felt like we should not have given up 34 points. They played really well in the first half, and things kind of changed in the second half. But that can be the success of the run game, and they hit those play action passes.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm a little worried about the defense. I feel like one of these games, the defense, like. I get that we're kind of a bend don't break thing. That's kind of Manny's shtick, and Blake Baker is one of his disciples. The thing that worries me about bend don't break is eventually you're gonna have a game, like statistically speaking, you're gonna have a game where you just break.
I have a feeling it might be the Clemson game.
Yeah, I'm worried that there's going to be another one too. I think we might just get out muscled by Clemson, but I think there's going to be another one where just some mental errors or lack of preparation or lack of focus causes our defense to just break instead of flexing so hard. And these long drives that UAB and Louisville have both been getting on us that only result in 3 or 0 points are going to start turning into 7 points every time. And I really don't want us to blow a game like Virginia Tech or UNC that after watching this team for 2 weeks, I think we should beat both of those teams. I think it's fair to be confident and say that we should win those games. I just don't want to see our defense just break consistently all game.
I completely agree.
Yeah. Duck, what do you think? What do you think about that, Duck?
I think the defense is going to improve a little bit. How old or what class are the linebackers? I know the one kid's a senior.
Yeah, so Zach McLeod is a redshirt senior, and then Jennings is Bradley Jennings. I think he's a redshirt sophomore, but he doesn't have playing experience because of injuries.
And the third linebacker?
Sam Brooks is a true sophomore.
He's a sophomore, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, that's young. I think like UAB was almost all seniors. And we never have that. We're always super young because everybody leaves early.
Yeah. And
it's a weird, Miami's a unique situation. So I think they're going to do better. I think the kids have to toughen up. And then when you're super hyper aggressive pass rush like Roche and Phillips, that kind of goes hand in hand with being soft against the run.
Yeah.
Because, like Jason Taylor was a killer going after quarterbacks, but he wasn't a big run stopper.
Yeah.
None of those skinny speed dudes are. So you give up a little bit, when you play that style.
Yeah, I'm with you,
I was glad that the big kid in the middle, Silvera, made some plays.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Because that really is the position that is going to determine how badass your defense is.
Yeah.
That play where he blew the lineman back into the running back.
It's crazy.
I had to smile at that one.
Yeah. Well, Ethan, I got one last question for you, man, and thank you so much for coming on. I want to hear, just give us a quick rundown of how you feel about the FSU game and give us a score prediction for that.
Well, as you guys are well aware, there's never a sure thing in the FSU game, despite how bad I thought they looked against Georgia Tech. But, man, I just cannot see us not killing them. That Louisville game was reassuring, to say the least. So I think we're going to absolutely beat the brakes off of them. And I want to say, we'll beat them like 35-10.
Cool.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I love it, man. That's covering the spread, and I think I don't know. I don't want to jinx us, but I want to even go worse than that, man. I really do. But anyways, thanks for coming on, Ethan. Love having you, and thanks for always supporting us. I know Marsh and I both really appreciate it.
Well, I'm so happy to be able to get on here and talk to you guys. It's always awesome talking.
Where do you
football.
live, Ethan?
I just moved down to here in Miami. I moved from Iowa so I could come watch the Canes play. I go to FIU right now.
Nice.
Yeah.
You guys, I can't believe there's so many Canes fans from, like, what is that, Mountain West?
Yeah, well, Midwest, Mountain West, yeah.
I've got friends that are Iowa fans, but they're a good program, but there's no way I could be an Iowa fan. They'll be good, but they'll never be a national title contender, and we can't really say that yet. But the way Miami's set up, we've always got a chance.
Yeah. Agreed, man. Agreed. Well, anyways, thanks, Ethan, and as always, go Canes, man.
Go Canes.
Yep. Yeah. Does it, Duck? Does it? I mean, do you like hearing that there's guys like me and Ethan out there that have no ties to South Florida but are big Miami fans in this younger generation?
Especially the younger generation. I can understand it, guys that are my age that saw the glory days and were like, it's kind of how people become Cowboys fans, nationally or universally or whatever. They see them so much and stuff. But you guys like that came in when the team started struggling.
Yep.
It's dedication.
Yeah, dude, it's been tough, honestly, but I don't know. I think it takes a certain personality, and that's very much my personality. Is I've always been emboldened against adversity.
And you're a Heat fan too, right?
No, I'm a Utah Jazz fan.
Jazz, okay.
Yeah.
And who's your NFL team?
It's been kind of recent, but I'm a Buffalo Bills fan. I just converted about 2 years ago. Just because. I had wanted a team. The Bills were a team that I've always liked, and they drafted Josh Allen, who I saw twice in college, and I guess he grew up in California, but he played at Wyoming. And I was like, you know what? Sure. Like, I've always liked the Bills anyway. I would love to be passionate about a team, and it's kind of sticking, like I feel myself emotionally connected to them, which is what I've wanted.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the Bills here, that's like equal to Gator hatred.
Yeah. Do you guys hate the Pats or the Bills more?
The Bills.
Really?
Jealous of New England, of course, but the hatred, like Dolphins and Patriots fans don't fight in the stands, but Dolphins and Buffalo fans fight.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah. I mean, it was so bad back in the late 80s and early 90s that the Buffalo, they had, 4 or 5 Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
And all we had was Marino.
Yeah.
So we'd lose.
So how was it like with Jim Kelly as their quarterback? So how would a guy like you, I mean, because you're a Fins fan, right?
Yeah.
So how would a guy like you, who's a big Canes fan and a big Dolphins fan at that time, like, what was it like cheering against Jim Kelly, or how did you feel about Jim Kelly?
Well, we loved Jim Kelly, but we wanted to win.
Yeah.
And like when they kept getting stomped by Dallas in Super Bowls, like I wanted Jim Kelly to win one. And my mom loved Jim Kelly. I mean, loved him. But the rest of the Buffalo, and it's really their fans. It's not so much the team.
Yep.
It's their fans were so obnoxious.
Yeah.
That like it's still now, and the Dolphins haven't been relevant in however many years, and Buffalo neither. But it's like as soon as you said Buffalo fan, like Buffalo.
Yuck. Yeah. That's as a Jazz fan, I can relate to that because that's how we feel about Lakers fans, man.
Right.
Is like Lakers fans just give me the chills because I mean, not all of them are this way. I have a lot of friends that are Lakers fans, and they're like intelligent basketball fans, right?
Yeah.
But there is also a large group of Lakers fans that don't know anything about basketball. And they're the guys that just pound the laughing emoji and are just, oh, Kobe, 5 rings, 3-peat with Phil Jackson, all that kind of stuff. And it's like, or the ones that, they'll, when they're talking trades, they're like, well, you'll give us your best player and we'll give you some crappy guy that we picked up off of the street. I just, ugh, yeah. So I know what you're talking about. I feel that way about Lakers fans.
And then another weird thing, the Jazz and the Heat are two of very few teams that don't end in S.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, that is weird. They're like, a plurality with no S.
Right.
Yeah, it does always sound weird to say he's a Heat or he's a Jazz.
Right.
Yeah, but anyways, let's call in our last guest for the day. It's Max Kesselhaut. Kesselhaut? I'm not sure how you say his last name, but it's Max. Max, what's up, man?
What's going on?
Hey, thanks for stopping by with us, man. So I'm here with BetterDuck, who's helping me co-host today.
What's up, Max?
Sir. What's going on, BetterDuck?
All right.
Yeah, so dude, we want to get your knee-jerk reaction from the Louisville game. I know it's been 2 days, but tell us what you're thinking, man.
Yeah, so I haven't had a chance really to rewatch the game yet, which I usually love to do a couple times. But at first glance, I think obviously the offense played well. We scored every single drive in the second half. There wasn't a single possession that we didn't score in the second half, which is great. I would have loved to convert more touchdowns. We had a little too many field goals, which is obviously nice that we have a kicker that can make them now. And I liked that they put in Sam Brooks for a good amount because I knew we needed that speed to cover Louisville. And so I was hoping, pre-game that Brooks would get some more burn because he's faster than, the two starters. But, other than that, I think we played okay. Obviously the team isn't satisfied. I don't know if you guys have listened to the interviews and stuff like that, but the team's not satisfied whatsoever. Bubba probably had his best game as a Cane, and he's not satisfied. So it's great to hear that. But I think we got a lot of guys in there that haven't played a ton of minutes and played well with their minutes. I think Corey made a couple of nice plays. You have Jared Harrison Hunt, who was outstanding. You also have Wayman Steed getting some minutes, and even Chance Williams made a tackle. I think it was on special teams, but Cameron Williams was a stud, Yeah. And then you had Marcus Clark with his first career tackle, so that's always nice to see.
Yeah, I was really happy to see Cam Williams kind of pop because when it comes to our bench with our pass rushers, Jafari Harvey was getting all the love and for good reason because he's a freak. But the fact that we had another bench pass rusher that wasn't Harvey that popped, I mean, that just made me feel good because with how Jalen Phillips is playing, I'm starting to feel like he might not be here next year.
No, I 100% agree. I think he probably leaves. And that's another, thing that, we've had to deal with a lot is these juniors leaving, right?
Yeah.
And so it's very, very important that we have a guy like Cameron Williams and start getting Chance Williams some playing time as well because it's going to be their time next year, So getting these young guys game reps early on in the season is only going to help them out for next year.
Yeah. It would be a shame if guys like, I mean, let's say Phillips does leave, and then we'll have put 3 high-level pass rushers into one draft, with Rousseau, Roche, and Phillips all leaving the team, hypothetically, right? It would be a shame if our position of strength with pass rusher, becomes one of these things that we just take so much attrition that we drop down to average. But hopefully with the way we're recruiting it, the way that we're developing, having Harvey and Cam Williams, that we can come back into next offseason and be like, hey, this is still a position of strength. We're going to be able to get to the quarterback no matter who is there.
No, I think regardless, I think if both of them leave, it's still going to be a position of strength, especially with a guy like Jared Harrison Hunt who can play on the outside as well if needed. But you also have the other freshman, Chance Williams on top of Cameron Williams with Jafari Harvey, and then we have a couple of other young guys that are going to start vying for playing time. Obviously we have the big 5-star coming in. at D tackle next season.
Yeah, Leonard Taylor.
Yeah, Leonard Taylor. So